I want you to stop for a second and think about how you would be able to accomplish all that you have achieved without the freedom of physical movement. My heavy hitter tonight is somebody who grew up without that freedom, but has still managed to become one of the world's most respected and admired figures. He's a best-selling author, an amazing speaker, a global speaker, and of course, a multi-dollar millionaire. I'm talking about none other than Nick Vujicic. I want you to take a look at the conversation I had with him and find out a little bit about his touching story. What sets you apart from other inspirational speakers?
You know, I don't know. I don't know other inspirational speakers that people might compare me to. I don't really listen to a lot of inspirational speakers on stage, but what I do know is that any speaker, when they're up on stage, if you're not authentic and you don't 100% believe in what you're saying, you're going to see that, and the audience will feel that. There are some seminars where you sort of feel pressured to go into the next level of education, and some people believe, well, I don't want to be pressured to be upsold on a program or buy into a program, but what I do believe is that if you really want to learn something that's specific and you have a coach giving you the tools and the mentorship, well, it's a great investment to have. I don't have any programs that I'm selling as such, but I go around as a salesman of hope. And I talk about my faith and how I found hope and how everyone else can find theirs.
As you were speaking a little bit earlier, you mentioned that at age 10, you wanted to commit suicide. Why?
I almost committed suicide at age 10 because I felt like there was no hope. I asked God for arms and legs and nothing happened. I asked my parents what happened to me, why was I born this way? My brother and sister have arms and legs.
So you were born this way?
I was born this way, no medical reason. And so sometimes we want to know the answer as to why did this happen? And if you don't even have that, and you look ahead, and I'm like, well, what job am I gonna get? I'm not gonna get married. Even if I got married, I can't even hold my wife's hand. Even if we had children, I can't even hold my kids when they're crying. And so all these fears crippled me. I think the fears of the heart cripple everyone more than having no limbs. And so the only reason why I did not go through the suicide, was because of the love of my parents. I didn't want to leave them with that pain, so I decided to stay.
Wow, quite an inspirational story. You mentioned that you're a married man and you're expecting your second child.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
If there's one thing that people don't know about how Nick runs his life and his career, what is that thing?
It's right now the struggle is making sure that I have a good balance. I don't think anyone has a perfect balance as such between work, missions, and then family time. You know, I used to be, when I was a bachelor, on the road speaking 278 times a year. And I did that for 4 years straight, and I burnt out. And that's when I met my wife. And she was a wonderful reason why to slow down. Everyone was telling me to slow down, but why? There's no reason to, until I met my wife. And I think the biggest struggle for me right now is making sure that I have quality time with my bride and with my sons. And we're doing pretty well with the different seasons of transitions that we've been facing and the difficult decisions that we've been making. And also at the same time, we have a lot of amazing opportunities that come across our table, and so we wait and pray about which ones we move forward in and which ones we do not.
It's a crucial time right now because over the past couple of months in this country, we've been experiencing a lot of violence. We've been experiencing a lot of what other people would refer to as Afrophobia, as xenophobia. What is your take on xenophobia?
My take is that we all need to love everyone. I think pride and greed and lust are the three biggest traps that human beings have, wherein their actions are motivated by one of those three things. I think it's pride and greed that I really see taking control of people's egos and minds and hearts, wherein they start to believe that perhaps that they have a greater value than someone else. For someone to say that on any level, how can anyone say that any orphan is less valuable than you or me? How can we say that we're more valuable than them? We're not. We are all human beings. We are all here for a greater purpose. And with 7 billion people in the world, it's not about territory, it's not about culture, and it's not in the end about beliefs. Blessed be the peacemakers. We need to be the peacemakers in our own homes, in our own schools, in our own workplaces, and then in our own nations.
Nick, I want to say I'm one of the people that you inspire. And for that, we just want to thank you for the amazing work that you continuously do all over the world. Thank you so much for coming once again to our beautiful continent.
Thank you very much.